Okay,
What is coming?
Anybody, it's her.
Yeah.
Do you want to join us?
Excuse me? Why would you ask to help to join us? What will people think?
If you excuse me, please.
You're excused. And stay in the kitchen till everyone leaves. Clean the place up.
They are supposed to be taken away from the street. All they do is to litter around and to steal from us.
What for? This madness must stop.
Ajua, she.
No.
Yes,
no.
I do.
Anyone but him. No.
Who else is there?
No.
I get asked the question, as a filmmaker, can you entertain and have a social conversation? And my answer to that is a definite yes. I think that Silver Rain has proven that in so many ways, that you go into the experience, you have a great experience, and yes, still you come out of it asking yourself some really critical questions about life, about yourself, about society, about the class structures, about dreaming, about aspirations, about governments, about policy, so many things. And yet you're able to have a great experience within that process.
Silver Rain movie is a movie that highlights the plight of Kayaye in the city, in the business area. And being one of the first persons to have watched it, aside the acting and every other thing, what stood out for me is the technical bits of making the movie. The good sound quality, good picture, and the angles, the different angles that were shot made the movie a good one for me. It's actually one of the best movies that I've watched in recent times.
Silver Rain is about a young girl from the market, a Kayo girl, who decides to dream and the price that she pays for dreaming.
Well, my favorite scene in the film is quite a sad one in the film. It is the scene that Jocelyn, that is the main Kaya lady in the movie, when she took the politician's son or the rich man's son in the evening to where they sleep, right on the streets. It's quite a sad scene.
Okay, I'll get out here.
I'll take you home.
This is home.
What do you mean?
I live here.
Like these people on the streets?
Most of them are my friends.
You're joking, right? How long have you lived like this?
Ever since my mom died. My father was disinherited for marrying my mother. And when he died, we were kicked out of the house.
Mother's family?
Can't help. Okay. Thank you very much for everything. I had a very good time tonight. Thank you. This is your jacket back. Thank you. Thank you. Please, thank you.
I would say film is entertainment. That is an established fact. But then again, film is an educational tool. We use film to bring out the issues that we have in our system, for corrections to be done where there are things that are bad in the system.
This is exciting because I'm a strong believer in film for social impact. And I remember about 10 years ago, a little more, I met this fascinating girl in the marketplace, a Kayo girl, you know, and I was just going to the market on my usual market rounds, and I met this girl, and she spoke pretty well, very pretty girl, caught my attention, so I started talking to her. And she mentioned during our chat that she wanted to be a designer. She had always dreamt of becoming a designer, and that was really, really fascinating for me. So I got to talking further, and then I learned a bit about her background. I kind of came into this arrangement with her to spend 2 weeks with her, and afterwards get her into a trade. I actually went to the market, spoke with someone who agreed to train her. And I packed up my office, we got into the bus, and we headed off to Wale Wale, which by itself was interesting. But before we went, I remember we went to the market to see them at the market, and we went there in the night, and they were all sleeping on the floor. I remember going to Tema Station, and they were all sleeping on the bare floor on cardboards. And I remember there was this particular time that we went, and it started to rain. Whilst we were shooting, it started to rain. And there were a couple of them that were upset that we're there with cameras, and we explained to them what we're trying to do. Yeah. But it started to rain, and you could see them scrambling to get their things off the street. Some of them slept in front of the store. Some of them slept under the open skies. So anyway, fast forward, we pack up and we go to Wale Wale. And for me, it was an interesting experience because when we got to Wale Wale, and then we realized how young she was when she had left. You know, Wale Wale is on the northern part of the country, and apparently she had left when she was pretty young, probably around 11. Sometimes I confuse the dates because it's been so long ago, and she herself wasn't too sure. I closed up my entire office, packed up my entire office. Everyone got into the bus with her, and we drove all the way to Wale Wale, which was where she came from. When we got to Wale Wale, and then we realized how young she was when she had left. You know, Wale Wale is on the northern part of the country, and apparently she had left when she was pretty young, probably around 11. Sometimes I confuse the dates because it's been so long ago, and she herself wasn't too sure. And we moved into the compound, and her dad had had more kids since she had left. But even the older kids couldn't recognize her because she had grown. I mean, when we took her, she was between 15 and 16, so she had grown. And she was calling them, and they couldn't recognize her. And when we were driving to her mom, because her dad lived a different place from where the mom lived, and he had a couple of wives. He had about 40 plus kids. And I remember we were driving to see her mom, and the uncle was telling us about their lives and the reason why they have such large families and why some of the kids have to leave and go to the city to find money.
Me, the time I knew her, she was just some little girl. But there are plenty, you see. You see, nothing else. Our fathers, they married plenty of women, you see.
Like how many children? Her
My
father?
brother had.
Yes.
Oh, they are more than 40.
Did you know where she was?
Me, I don't know that she is in Accra. The children, they just travel every time.
And the parents don't look for them?
Where will he find it? If not we like this who know Accra, can you go to Accra and search for somebody? You that you don't know Accra. You see this our side, now they finished harvesting. There's nothing here again.
Of any other family member who is in Accra?
Oh, there are plenty, the children are plenty. I've been seeing them.
Doing what?
Carrying loads. Some get a house work, but those who carry the load that I've been seeing anytime.
How do you feel when you see them?
I don't feel it.
You don't feel anything?
No, I don't feel how I saw them, because if you see your fellow friend suffering too much, it's not good.
So you feel bad when you see them carrying?
That is why me, for Accra, I go Buleshi area, because there are people often stay there. Me, I don't go there. I don't go there.
It's part of their job, yeah, they are working too.
Me backroom, I am them to me, and I'm marketing soon to me in car and from no boy and pa, cause we were your Sonia or Sonia, my dear, just almost 1 hour. While boy, until you do baby, no come for so I bring to me some swaggy, and then they are being over to you.
For the olden days, our forefathers, they don't educate. Even me, my father self, he don't educate. You see? That is why. You see? They don't care with their children, whether you go to school or they don't care. And their children are there. If you are about 10, 5 of you are educated, maybe they will help. But you will be about 50, but even single of you, no education. All will depend on the farm. And there's nothing inside the farm.
Papa be ni ho I just say a full more juma na full more juma so you bia na etimi a full more juma what ya say nto mo ba no be pe bi no mo so de kohwe mo abusuafo a eno so ye better eno so ye eyemwa.
I had about 40 children. How many wives?
before the time was me, I was about 10 going to 15. He was married to about 12 women.
What work does he do, please?
In the olden days, he was the local musician.
As far as you are aware, did he take care of any of the children? Did any of them go to school?
No. Who will go to school and who will sit in the house?
Now, you know, for me, it was my first time going into that area. So the journey itself was very, you know, it was a learning process. I really got to bond with my office staff. It was an incredible journey.
So which dates are you there?
Yeah.
Good morning.
No.
It's my regular. Mago Ankara, Mago Nibino, teachers. So Mago Ankara.
And I remember us driving into the compound where her mom was, and her mom kind of looked as if she had seen a ghost. Ah, my God, I'll never forget the look on her mother's face as she saw her daughter for the first time, a daughter that she hadn't seen in years and actually thought she was probably dead. I remember an auntie walking up to her and asking her if she had seen her child and asking, is my child dead? Not that they die when they come to Accra, no, but they live under really challenging circumstances. And really, if you don't see your child, and if your child is so young when they leave, you really don't know what has happened to them.
So to come on, so to come on, to Bohaya, come on, Kayati, Wala shall injury pick, catch a cool and chang.
And afterwards, we came back to Accra, all the while understanding the kind of pressures that, you know, they live under, and the pressure for an 11-year-old to travel all the way from the northern part of the country to Accra to try and make a living, and was sending money back home or to try and raise money to go take care of her siblings. And I mean, that girl, she's stuck in my brain. I mean, the intelligence in her eyes, the beauty of her soul. For me, the story doesn't end too well, because when we got back to Accra, she was advised by her friends to take her money and not learn the trade, not to trust us. And who could blame them for not trusting us? And I remember standing at the Tema station and I shed some tears. I was pretty much begging her to take my help, and she said no. And that also was interesting for me. It was educational for me, because, you know, sometimes we go into these circumstances thinking that we know what we know and that we know what is best. And, you know, we learn a lot in the process, which is what I did. So she refused my help. I gave her her money, and a couple of months after, I think 4 to 5 months after she turned up in the office, and she was pregnant. And she had been pregnant, made pregnant by a boy in the market, and it wasn't very consensual, you know. And for me, I stopped short of saying rape, but it wasn't consensual. And they live under such challenging and difficult conditions in the market that it's incredible what can happen to a young woman under such circumstances. So years later, I would be sitting down and I would decide that I was going to do a story that was inspired by the strength that I witnessed in this amazing, amazing young woman. There were several times when we were shooting the actual film where we would go to the market and be getting ready to shoot a scene, and you would have, you know, the real Kayayos sleeping where we were about to shoot. And we brought some of them to the office. It was an incredible experience bringing them sort of to the office for the actors to engage with them and really get into character. That was very helpful. But still, I can say that no one was actually quite prepared for what we saw when we actually got to shooting. And a couple of times, you know, my crew and cast, they would say, hang on, but we have these people sleeping there. And I would tell them, well, this is actually where they sleep. And this, you know, this is not make-believe. What you see in the movie is actually what happens. And so they live under really deplorable conditions. They sleep on the streets. The young women are exposed to so many challenges, to so many dangers. I mean, this particular young woman got pregnant months after I met her, and I wouldn't say that the encounter was, you know, consensual.
Showing the movie this Christmas in the markets, I think, will go a long way to highlight the problems that the Kayayu ladies face in the market, and then the other stakeholders or the players in the market, those who sell, those who come to buy, will have the opportunity to watch it too and then understand the plight of the Kayayi.
For me, as a filmmaker, I focus on using my craft for social impact. And since this film was made, is garnered a lot of interest and attention, I must say, and I'm happy for that. We are in over 150 countries right now. We're on about 4 airlines. And the kind of awareness that, you know, we are raising to the living and working conditions of these young women, for me, is phenomenal. And for me, that's what brings me a lot of satisfaction as a filmmaker, because I feel that as African filmmakers, we can straddle very nicely the point between making film for entertainment and being a great film, entertaining film, and also achieving social impact. There are 2 things I'm looking to achieve this Christmas. First of all, I want to meet this girl. I want to meet this girl again, who's so stuck in my brain. I want to be able to say thank you. I want to be able to see where she's come. I want her to, you know, I want to talk about her dreams and what became of them and what her life is like. And if she's gone back since we shot this, if she'd seen her family again. By now, hopefully her child lived. I want to see that child. I want to see the conditions under which that child lives. I want to see, there's a lot of talk about interventions that have been done. I want to see the real impact that those interventions are having on the lives of these young women in the marketplaces of Accra.
Asking people to give this Christmas to support or make life a bit merry or merrier for the Kayayi this Christmas, I think it's a laudable idea. And I encourage everyone watching to try and donate something. We are going to enjoy our Christmas in our homes. These ladies are also out there in the open. Let's help make Christmas enjoyable for them.
I want to kind of raise awareness so that people who don't know about these things can learn about them, can become involved if they want to, more involved. And that's why we are asking people to give to make this happen. We are calling on media houses to come and join us on this journey. We are calling on companies to do this as part of their CSR outreach, you know, to look at what you can do for the woman in the market.
What's in the papers?
This is what's in the papers.
Shit.
Don't use that kind of language in front of your mother.
It's not what it looks like, Mom. Dad?
That's what I've been trying to explain.
What's she? A prostitute?
No, ma'am, she wasn't.
Then what? I hope you called Amma and Susie and explained this.
Mom, there's nothing to explain. It was just an ordinary dinner.
Did you have to take her where our friends eat? What were you thinking?
Mom, I have a meeting in 5 minutes. Can I come by the house later?
I forbid you to see that thing again. Do I make myself clear?
Ajwa, I want to be a hairdresser. Yes. Hairdresser? Yes. I can do your hair. Tima.
So when do you get out?
Thursday.
Okay, look, I still have some more money. Why don't we get a room together? Tima, what's wrong?
Ajwa, I'm not sure I'm ready to leave market too.
What? How can you even say that? Especially after what happened to you?
I know, but this is my home. This is the life that I know. What I'll do for different place. I'll go start everything all over again.
Tima, we still have to get out.
I know market's life. People accept me. I'm not like you, Ajwa. I'm not like you. I'm not like you, Ajwa.